Well, Robert calls me. So Robert called me. I'm the one that was setting up interviews for him. And I set up the interview he first did with Rick Party. And then we did Corey Holcomb and a bunch of others. And I was setting up some others. Now, Rob set up the Clubhouse interview separately. But when he told me about it, I was speaking to Rick about being in touch with WAC because I wanted to send him the affidavit and the newspaper articles and things that were pertinent. So when he speaks, he has the factual information in front of him to solidify what he says.
Okay, so I have a question for you, Sharon. How do you know Robert Kelly?
I met him in 1998. I worked in his home as his nutritionist. I was around him, his wife Drea. I know Sparkle. I know Rashana, who is the alleged person in the sex tape. Her mother, his managers, his lawyers, everyone that would have been around him at that time, I interfaced with. But obviously, my relationship was with primarily Robert and his wife. And I worked for him for a few years. Went on to work with Kanye West, Common, and some other celebrities. Rahm Emanuel, who was in the White House administration for Bill Clinton and President Obama, and a lot of other high-profile clients. I am a nutritionist / strategist. So when I work with clients, my background is in nutrition. But when I was with Kanye's mother, she was his manager, and so I did more strategy processes with her because as his manager, she was doing a lot of things for his foundation, for his touring, for his brand, and at that time he was starting a clothing line that she was also assisting with. So he had a lot of things that he was doing, and I was doing more strategy for business as opposed to nutrition. And then I worked with Common. With him, it was primarily nutrition. With Nas, it was mostly nutrition. And, I work with clients based on what their need is. But when I was with Robert back in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was as his nutritionist. And currently, since 2019, I have just stepped in and worked with him as a strategist because he was in trouble and didn't have any help.
Okay. So you said he was struggling what? You have to repeat that again, Sharon.
He was in trouble and did not have help.
Okay, so you're talking about the trouble as of the court case, right?
Well, when Surviving R. Kelly hit in 2019.
Okay. So you had said that, because I'm just confused. I'm going based off of what you were telling me. You had said that the person in the alleged tape. Now we do know. I'm going to say alleged just for you. But there's a tape out there, okay? And it's alleged of R. Kelly and a young child. And you said the alleged person. So what is your take on this whole tape situation? And do you believe that R. Kelly is innocent from all the charges that is on him?
When you say somebody was on a tape, that is not factual. That tape that was, first of all, there are multiple tapes. Robert is a rock star, living a rock star lifestyle. There are many tapes that people record when they engage in activity. And he had many tapes with many people that he was sexually involved with. Females have different body builds, different statures. You have people like Stephanie Mills, who at 20, she can look 14. You have people like Jada Pinkett, who at 20 can pass for 14. The identity of the person on the tape has never been verified. When you first heard about that, the only person you heard it from was Sparkle.
So there was no face on the tape?
Let me walk you through the story. There were no name tags. There was a face, but there was no name tag. So the only people that would have known who was on that tape are the people in it or someone who knew that individual. The only person that came forward and said, "This is who this is Sparkle." No parents, no grandparents, no aunts, no uncles, no cousins on either side of the family. Even the female and her parents denied it was her. Sparkle's testimony was tainted, or she was basically not credible, because Sparkle was married to a guy in public announcement, Earl. She left him to have a relationship with R. Kelly, thinking she was going to be like Diana Ross on Motown. But Robert had gotten married to Drea, had a baby. It was a secret marriage. Nobody knew about it. Sparkle was engaging in an activity commensurate with somebody who thought they were going to be the face of Rockland Records. She brought her family over there.
No, my question, I don't want to cut you off. I just wanted to, clarify. So, because I never saw the tape. So, are you telling me that in the tape that was public, that you could not see the woman's face or the girl's face or the R. Kelly's face in the tape?
You see faces, you don't have an identity.
Okay, so you can see the face.
There's no identity.
All right, so let's say if I see your face in the show, I don't need to know your name to know that's you, right?
If there's a female that is in the tape, whoever knows her has to be able to identify her. You tell me who identified her. Because you're saying that
I never said it was her. I said for your, sake, I'm gonna say allegedly. But so Sparkle. So maybe I'm lost, and I'm not trying to be rude. Is Sparkle her cousin or related to her?
Sparkle is her aunt.
Okay, so her aunt verified that it was her, right?
Her aunt had an hidden agenda. That's why you have to know the backstory to know the agenda. She finds out he's married. She finds out her sister is having sex with him. She wants to leave. The family stays. She vows to destroy him. That was not, she went on a year tirade of trying to find things to take R. Kelly down. All of that came out in court. She had called DCFS, making accusations that were baseless. She was leaving her contract with him. She brought in another producer. She basically wanted to sever ties with him, and she wanted her family to leave with her. They refused. So she vowed to get revenge on all of them.
So who was the girl?
I eliminate that from the start.
So since you know him, who was the girl on the tape?
I wasn't there holding the camera, so I have no idea.
So since you are around his friends and you know him, who do you saying that you never saw that woman or that, whoever that was on that tape before?
I looked at the tape, I couldn't identify her, and I knew it was Shauna. That I can say.
But you do know that it was R. Kelly in the tape, for sure.
The tape that I saw, you didn't have a very good visual. It appeared to be him. But it was grainy. I don't know if you even remember the tape, but it was grainy. It was dim lighting. It did appear to be him. The female you could not make out, and you certainly could not conclusively say, this is who this is. She claimed she identified her by the hairstyle. That was her testimony.
Okay. Got it. So, go ahead, Stevie, if you wanted to.
Oh, wow. Well, no, because you're on a roll. Go ahead, Aya.
So, I want to fast forward to Sparkle. So you said that Sparkle had, wanted revenge, Sparkle. And I just want to make this real clear from my perspective. I do believe that a lot of the people who came through did have a weird agenda. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I do also believe that a lot of the things were true about Robert Kelly. So there were other children who came out and other people who came out, and
there
even...
were no children. There were no children.
There were no children who came out. Sorry, my bad. They in a court document, there were more children, even a guy of a little boy, right?
No, there were not.
So in the court document, and children. There was no boys.
If you're going to use the language, speak legally correct. There were no children.
So what were they?
A child means you are pre-puberty. There were no children.
Okay, so young children. Oh,
Minors?
What you want me to call it?
Minors is a better word. Because the age of consent, if we're going to speak, you have to be legally correct. You don't just slander somebody's name all over the media recklessly. In the United States, you have an age of consent that varies from state to state.
So how old were the younger under 18 people who came out? How old were they?
The youngest person that made an accusation was 16, most were 17, and almost all of them showed fake ID. You cannot eliminate that from the story. And most of the stories were bogus because they were looking for a paycheck.
So you think that it's okay for a gentleman to sleep with a 16-year-old?
Do you want to talk about the law or you want to be selective?
I want to talk about your morals. I want to talk about your specific morals. What do you feel?
I feel the law should be followed.